I'm really glad that you said yes to this, because obviously this podcast is kind of all about positivity and motivation, and finding motivation to kind of be happy perhaps when you are struggling. And I feel like you guys are very good advocates for that, especially with what you do, and like you always motivate me. So I don't know if you want to just give a super quick intro about who you are, because obviously I know, but not everybody else does. Go on then.
I'm Dave. Me and Tash own a gym, personal training gym in Bath called Get Fit in Bath. Been running it now for 8 years. 8 years. Been personal training for 10. Fell into love with it, didn't even know it. My mum basically found the course and put me onto it, and I've been doing it ever since. It's kind of like a passion thing now. So it's great. Over to you.
Well, Dave swept me off my feet when I met him.
Dave kicked me out of uni.
Dave, that's the real story. I met Dave and I was at uni, and he basically persuaded me with his charm to become a personal trainer, and I then had to break the news to my mum and dad, who hated Dave when this happened, because they were taking their only child, and I think only person in the family to have ever made it to university, and to leave. To set up this personal training company with a guy that I'd only met for about 6 months. That went down fantastically.
Look at you now. It paid off.
When you know, don't you?
Yeah, and it was more of a kind of stubborn thing to kind of, for me, being incredibly stubborn, that I had to prove that I was right and I was doing the right thing. So even if at the beginning I was thinking, oh God, what have we done? Which didn't happen.
Well, to be fair, I mean, your whole podcast is about, talking about happiness and stuff like that.
Yeah,
you hated uni, like you full on hated it, like you moaned so much about it all the time. And so that's when I was like, you love sport, you love training, you don't like people, but you've grown into that.
Like people.
She's just learnt to put on a face now.
Yeah.
No, I do. I love everyone in London. That's a part of our business.
Just as everyone, like you've probably noticed, Sarah, the first time you met Tash, she's got the ultimate RBF, hasn't she?
Yeah, but I always saw through that. I don't know why. Like, you can tell.
People fall for it.
Yeah.
I got the charm. I haven't. I've got him.
You have.
That's how it all started 8 years ago. Yeah, we've never looked back, have we?
No. Mental.
So great. Because I think, when was it I met you guys? Was it 4 years ago?
I think it's actually about 5.
Yeah.
No way.
5 years ago, yeah.
I actually watched the promo video on your website just before I joined this. And I was like, I'm still in it. Oh, right.
Always. You've got to live up to your name, Sarah.
True. So have you guys told each other what your kind of 3 things are, or have you kind of kept it to yourselves?
I'm just going for it. I'm going for it live. I'm picking them live.
Amazing.
I tried to ask him in the car earlier to get some ideas, and he wouldn't give me anything. I was like, oh God, what am I going to say?
The problem is we're both very similar.
Yeah, we are.
So our answers are going to be pretty much identical, I reckon, apart from one, which I can guess for Tash, which is probably my hated.
Well, this is what I was thinking. I was going to say, if Dave's thinking on the fly, he might just copy you, Tash. He might just be like, yeah, that was mine as well.
Is that what you want?
Yeah.
I'll go.
Yeah, shoot.
All right. So my first one is Tash, obviously.
Awkward. That wasn't mine. I was kidding.
The thing is, though, is that I think it's because of the fun we have, and as you know from watching many a story on Instagram, all I do is I take the piss out of Tash, or I wind her up, or I scare her, or I do something to pull a trick on her, but she always takes it in a good spirit.
Apart from that one time where you actually made me cry. I was asleep in bed, sound asleep, may I add.
Yeah.
And he knew this, and he crept upstairs, put the camera on, and then shouted as loud as he could, running into the room, "It's the police! It's the police!" And I jumped out of my skin. But you know when you're so like, I think I was just very tired and quite emotional. But I just started crying.
Oh no!
It was just a step too far. I just wasn't in the mood. I can laugh at it now, but at the time it was just pure torture.
Oh my gosh! Did that make it onto social? Did you have
that
to?
Actually, yeah, I got a lot of flack for that one.
Yeah, he was told that he took it too far.
Even though, so I recorded it, she watched it, she just couldn't stop laughing. She was like, "This is amazing! You've got to put it up."
Once I watched it back, yeah, at the time, and then he put it on slow mo, so you get the whole experience of it.
Yeah, you've got to cut and edit it, you know.
It's like a job.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness!
I mean, lockdown affected people in weird ways. And that was one of the weird ways that affected me. Too much time on my hands.
When you hid in the cupboard was pretty bad.
I think you still don't know how I got in there because you struggled to get in there.
Yeah, I don't know. The worrying thing is that I know he's recording it, and I know he's in the house, but I don't know where he is. And I go into
a tiny house.
It's tiny. It's
We've got one bedroom.
So I can know that there's only a few places it can be, but the thought of it still scares me. So I walk down the stairs and I can see the phone set up. And I don't want to go over there and turn it off because in case he like comes, I overthink things massively. So I'm just worried that he's going to come from behind. Oh, God, that sounds a bit weird. Not like that.
I'd just go back upstairs. If I saw the camera, I'd be like, "I'm not entertaining this," and just go back up.
I've got no filter.
But the problem is that she knows how stubborn I am as well, and I won't move either. And it would just be a standoff. And I know that I'd win sooner or later because Tash has to come down and feed. So if I'm near the kitchen, then I've won. Because at one point, she's going to come down to feed.
So true.
Yeah, that's fair.
I have to get some snacks. So.
What do you mean you have to get some snacks? You do. You hear rustling at like 2 a.m. in the morning. It's Tash reaching over into a little snack drawer by the side of the bed, just but, you know, a little protein snack.
Incredible.
On to number 2, which is food. Food is like always the happy thing. Love cooking it, love eating it. You know, love going out to restaurants. Obviously, when we used to be able to do that. That's a long time ago. But you know, the whole thing around it, you know, I love going on cooking courses and learning new techniques and stuff. You know, even the accessories to it, you know, from, you know, the knives to the pans to, you know, everything, you know, it's just great. It's just such an art to it, which is yeah, I think it's just amazing, and it's very therapeutic as well. It's one of those things that can really chill you out, and I think it's quite nice because, you know, I got to change Tash's life with food. Because when I met her, it was all Galaxy and Chinese takeaways, and introduced her to vegetables. Which
I
was
just feel
shock.
sorry for the lady over the road where I used to live, where I used to be her number one
customer every night.
I reckon she's gone now. I reckon she had to like pack up.
Yeah, bust when you stop going there.
Yeah.
I think number 3 would have to be everything that comes from the gym. So like all the people that have like been through our doors or are, you know, still with us and stuff like that. Especially I think you start to you feel it more. I mean, this week back is our first week back, and it's just such a weight off your shoulder when you go and see everyone again and you get to chat to everyone, and you know, everyone's so happy to see you and share their stories with you, and you know, you're so happy to see them and talk to them about everything that's been going on, and you know, go out for little coffee dates and stuff like that. And I don't know, it's just that feeling of community. You know, you can't beat it. It gives structure and purpose, which is like the main thing of what you're aiming to do with your job. Even before sort of lockdown happened, structure and purpose is the main routine of what it is that we do. You know, it's to try and give someone a set day and time so that they can schedule in fitness, just to make it part of their lives rather than making it a struggle. Something that you don't fear doing, that you should be happy to go and do.
The kind of feel that we give off, like it can be quite an intimidating place, like the gym and fitness in general, especially if you're not kind of in it already.
Mm-hmm.
So to kind of step in and walk into a gym is a scary thing. Even I would hate doing it, if I'm honest, into sort of big commercial gyms. So it's always been a thing that we've wanted to like create a community where everyone is treated exactly the same. It doesn't matter what background, whatever ability, it's irrelevant. It's just you've invested your time to come and see us, so the least we can do is make you a part of that family.
Yeah.
And I think that, well, obviously that shows, the fact that we've been able to sort of maintain that throughout lockdown, and people stick by us. They've helped us as much as we've helped them. So it speaks volumes, really. It's just about having a laugh as well. It shouldn't be a scary place. You can still get results and have fun, and just create something pretty special.
Before I came to you guys through work, obviously, I didn't like exercising at all and absolutely hated it. And the thought of working out with my colleagues was even worse. But no matter how much you kind of dreaded, like, oh great, gonna come out of this session dying, you never feel awful. Like, you might ache a lot and you might smell because you sweat a lot, but you've still had a good time. Even with you, Tash, you're not always hard faced. I used to come out laughing out of some of those sessions. So I think that's why I really resonate with your gym. And to be honest, no other gym is the same.
Ooh,
bold.
I like it.
I'm putting it out there. Yeah.
Keep buttering me up. Come on. Keep it going. How's your rollerblading going?
Oh yeah, not great.
Because honestly, it's the best videos ever.
It's so good.
I'm really trying. To be honest, was it Wednesday I last went? I think that was when I posted my most recent video.
Yeah.
And that's the best I've skated ever.
So
you wouldn't be much better.
No, I'd be awful. I even said that to you, didn't I, when I messaged you? I love it, but I'd just be awful. Really, really bad.
I just keep seeing all these people on my feed that are like dancing, and I'm just like, that's what I want to be able to do. I imagine I could moonwalk. That's like goals. It's just taken a little while.
No, it's good.
So,
That's the thing. That's what I love about these lockdowns, is that people have delved into things that they probably wouldn't have done before. And it's great because people are just like, why not? Let's try it.
Yeah.
Give it a go.
Have you tried anything new in that same vein?
Currently learning Spanish.
Are you?
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's so cool, because I picked up French as well. How's your Spanish going?
It's all right. It's funny. Like, people always go, "Oh, say something in Spanish," and I'm like, I actually can't. Unless someone's like speaking Spanish to me, I do not have a clue what's going on.
To be fair, I was listening, wasn't I, the other day? And when he's like with the Spanish, what are you laughing at?
Well, because you don't know anything about Spanish. I could be saying anything. It's right.
It sounds great.
Sounds like you're speaking it, right? Well, in which case you sound like you're doing it, right?
I try hard, but no, it's fun. Like, and I've always loved languages. Like, I don't know, there's something about it. And Tash did a nutrition course.
Yes. Oh my gosh, congratulations, because you've passed, haven't you?
I did, yes, 93 out of 100, but no one asked that. So star student. No, I did do that as well, so that was good. Have a string to my what's the word? String to my
string to your bow.
Yeah, so that's always handy. Yeah.
By the way, good. Tash loves a saying. she literally. I mean, some of them I've never even heard of, but.
I just make things up.
You do.
Yeah.
A lot of them. But you say with such confidence, like, I believe it.
I just say stupid things. What was it the other day? We went to see a house, and I was telling my mum about it. I was like, "Oh, mum, they have these really good. Oh, is it sash windows?"
Yeah.
And I said hash windows. That's right, hash windows. I was like, "Oh, mum, they have these." It was like a little cottage, and I said, "Oh, they've got these like beautiful hash windows." And she went, "Tash, do you mean sash?" Like, yes. That's what I said.
How's your French going?
Not too bad. Not too bad. I told her about my roller skating and I can't remember what I said now. I mispronounced a word and my tutor was like, Sarah, it's really important that you say it like this, not like this. And I was like, why? And she said, because you just said whore. I was trying to talk about my roller skating, but for some reason I'd fitted in a whore in the sentence.
So good.
So Tash.
Your three things, something.
Yeah. Are there any that match Dave's?
Well, yeah, obviously Dave is number
Cute.
one. It has to be, doesn't it? I can't really say anything else now, really. I do it like a knob, don't I? No, he is number one, of course. But I think because he just, I don't know, I think
annoys the shit out of me.
He's probably the only person who like gets me and my weird ways and stuff that I do.
What weird ways are you talking about? Are you talking about how you stir your tea 22 times and have to tap it twice?
It's one of them. I only like even numbers.
But what happens if you get a race number that's an odd number?
I have to add it up or deduct the numbers until it makes an even one. Some way in my head it has to be even.
And what's really bad about numbers with you, Tash?
I can't. No, but I'm quite weird. Stress head. Quite a serious person-ish, and he just, I don't know, makes me see things differently. He gets the way that I am, and he helps control that by sort of making me look at things differently. But I think that's why we like you mentioned earlier, why we get on so well is just because we are completely different in the way that we do things, and we have a completely different coaching style, but we both kind of come together, and it just works that way. He's so laid back, he's horizontal, and I couldn't be. And I'm the complete opposite. Like everything, I'm so regimented. I'm so OCD, and sometimes that can be a good thing. But he's made me a better person.
Cute,
for sure. Yeah. Number two would be from my. I love getting up early, so I'm a massive. Yeah, I love it, don't you? And this is where we're both completely different again. He'll take as many hours as he can before we got to go down to work in the morning. He'll stay in bed right until the last moment, and then he'll roll out and off he pops and leaves me stressing because I'm like, we need to be there in 10 minutes. Why are you still in bed? What is going on? And I've been ready for about 2 hours because I get up an hour and a half before I need to be. Just because for me, that like I just like that time on my own in the morning.
Without me.
Yeah. I'm genuine, because as much as obviously I love him to bits, I love being on my own, and I love that alone time. That it's just part of me, and I think that's why I like my running and stuff like that. It's just time to myself, just to, I don't know, forget everything really. It's just a massive
switch
release.
Off.
Yeah, switch off.
Yeah.
But yes, my early mornings, a lot of people don't get it, and again, it's one of my weird things, but I'll wake up at like 4:30 in the morning and come down and have my coffee and just chill out, and I don't know, I love it. I just love, it's not to kind of show off, it's not anything like that, it's just that moment in the morning that I just like, just to prepare for my day. And it kind of falls into number three, because obviously number three is my running, and that is my life, regardless of where I get with it. It's just a massive release, and it's helped like so much throughout lockdown. It's become more than just a sport to me. It's literally my life, and I love just getting out there, just running. And I can completely understand why people don't like it and why people do, but for me, that's my way of coping with things, is to just head out and go for a run. Sets me up for the day. Like I say before, when lockdown hit, there wasn't a great deal to really do at the beginning, and it was just so nice to just have that and keep that as something. It's something that I've always been able to keep, and I sort of swore to myself in lockdown that even if I wasn't sort of working, I'd get up in the morning, I'd stick to my routine, and I'd get out and run, and that has honestly saved me from the days that have been a bit rubbish and a bit sort of hard to kind of get your head around with everything and the stresses of the business and not really knowing what was going to happen. It was just the one thing that was a permanent fixture in my life that didn't change from before all of this. So yeah, no, it's just it just made complete.
Your love of running is very weird though. Well, because like when we first got together, Tash was obviously doing bobsleigh, so she'd never run more than 40 meters. That was it.
True.
And so she was kind of like at the end of it, coming out of bobsleigh. And I remember I was going off for a run one day, and I was like, "Oh, will you come with me? You know, we'll just go out for a nice little run together." And took her out for an 8 miler.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, my
straight out.
Never run.
And he like, I think to this day has like hated that run. Because I essentially took her on quite a hilly one.
Yeah.
But what she hated is that I kept on running up the hill, turn around, run back down. You all right? Run back up, turn around, come back down. How you doing?
How the tables have turned, because I took you out in lockdown and the first month your run 5k, donate 5k, not donate 5k, that would be ridiculous. Vote 5k, whatever it was. And he absolutely blew up. And I was the one that was running backwards and forwards, going, "You all right? You okay?" And I would have been out for a run that day.
But it switched a little bit as well, because now you put us on 100 meter, and I would absolutely dominate it.
Why? I didn't got into any of your like your 1, 2, or 3s. That was nice.
I'm just making
now you're just
I'm just making your answers a bit better. That's all.
So if that was your first like experience of running, what was it that made you kind of fall in love with it? Because that sounds slightly frustrating, and I can imagine your like stubborn side would have made you want to do better. But like,
yeah,
exactly it.
To be
really,
because I beat her.
I think that's been the problem all my life, is that if I kind of do something and I'm not good at it, then I will not give up until I am good at it. But running has definitely been, I don't know, I've always done running, but it's always been like within different sports. And I've now kind of done full circle. Like I did a lot of long distance running when I was younger, but then kind of fell into other things. And now it's kind of come back round to sort of long distance running again. But yeah, I don't know. It's just, it has always been there, but I never really knew how much I loved it until sort of the last sort of few years. So I think it's just my sort of personality. I just want to be the best at everything. If I'm honest.
I feel like sometimes when I start a new skill, so roller skating, I want to be good at it immediately, and I get very frustrated when I'm not. And I find it hard sometimes to motivate myself to do that, because I'm like, oh, I'm not good enough yet. Like, it's almost a weird, it's the opposite of what you're saying in a way. So it's definitely a skill to have, I think, like to want to constantly like improve.
Yeah. I think as well, it's like anyone though, you don't want to be a failure. Like you don't want to fail at something. You want to be the best at whatever it is that you do. There's not one person, I think, that would go out there and do something and be like, oh, I want to be really shit at this. Because like, why would you do it? Like, you know, it's pointless. Everyone's going to go out and do something because they've seen it, they think it's cool, and they want to do what they've seen, basically. It kind of links in with what our job is setting expectations. You know, you come in with a goal, you know, running a marathon, half marathon, whatever it is, and you break it down. You know, you do it in smaller increments. You're like, great, you run a kilometer, you know, brilliant. You run 2 kilometers. You've now done 1 kilometer faster than you did last week. You know, it's small little intrinsic values of you're going to feel better and better over a longer period of time with it. And people find that quite hard when they're looking at a big goal, because you look at a big goal and it just seems so unattainable and so far away, and you always wonder how you get to that thing. But it is through baby steps, you know, those small little things that build up to that one big thing. It makes a difference, you know. And plus it gives you that happiness factor, you know. If you can break down a skill, so like your roller skating, you know, like you want to basically be as good as the people in the video, you know. But first of all, it's getting used to actually wearing them, you know, being up on your feet. That's goal number 1 done, you know.
How many times do you want to say, you know?
What's wrong with that?
You said it about 20 times.
End yourself. Anyway, and then, you know, Goal number 2. It's going to be you actually out on your roller skates and being able to move in them, you know. And goal number 3 is going to be something else, you know. But you do it in small stages to get to that big end stage. You know, It doesn't happen overnight, but you just have to be patient with whatever it is that you're doing.
You know.
You know.
You know.
I know. To kind of end things, what has made you smile? Could be tiny.
Playing yellow car in the car.
We have so many stupid games that we play in the car.
I love that.
It's really weird because we don't actually listen to the radio anymore in the car.
No.
And so like we just
entertaining yourselves.
Yeah. we just randomly, one of us would start a song, the other one would like join in.
Or sometimes just for lols, I turn down the window and shout, "Help! Help!" Dave's there like, "Tash, shut up." It's quite funny.
Or the screaming game.
Or the screaming game. We do that in the supermarket.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, you basically have to scare the person as much as you can by screaming as loud as you can, but you have to do it when they're totally oblivious to it. So
but it's brilliant because you do it with your mask on, and no one knows who's done it.
Oh my goodness, that's hilarious.
But yeah, today was a good car day.
What's your friend? What's made you?
It had to be that brookie that we had today.
Oh yeah,
that was good. We went to Good Day Cafe.
Have you ever been there?
No.
Oh, you need to go on their Instagram and just look at the filth they do because it's. So we got their caramel brookie.
Which is a brownie stuffed inside a cookie.
Oh wow! Okay.
Yeah, exactly. But this one was with those, you know, Cadbury caramel eggs. So with those stuffed inside as well.
Sensation.
And actually, I bought us Easter eggs from there as well, which is an Easter egg, and they've done a Biscoff cheesecake filling inside of it. Your face.
Insane, like a normal size Easter egg, the big one.
Not like a gigantic one. It's decent.
It's heavy.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
But you know, that put a smile on my face because I love food.
Well, it's been really great chatting to you guys. Thank you.
Thank you very much.